Alright, so today we're going to be working on, I'm cleaning out my slots here because I'm piling everything in the slots in the front, and I'm almost done using both cases in the front, and I didn't notice that a lot of the stuff that's been in here has been here for like 2 years, so I'm cleaning out all the garbage, and I'm here at one of my no fixes from back when we used to outsource board repair, and there was so much neater with the wires than I was, man. Like look at the beauty of these wires, like. See that? Just run around the board nicely. The wires are all nice and taut, and it's nothing like, yeah, it's nothing like the garbage I do now. Anyway, so let's take a look around this beautiful board so you can see just how beautiful it is. So, let me just get my microscope in focus for me, and then after that I'll get it in focus for you. Hopefully my longer HDMI cord will make it easier for this to stop getting fucked up. I just got them in Amazon today. I haven't had time to plug them in yet. There we go. So is that pretty or what? Yeah, that's pretty. This is a beautiful looking board. This is the 2915. So even if we do manage to make this piece of shit work again. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. This may actually die of natural causes rather than graphics chip. So let's see what my problems are here. So I'm gonna plug it in, and let's see if I get a light on the charger. As you can barely see, no light in the charger, and no fan spinning. So the first thing we need in order to get a light in the charger is PP3V42. So let's take a measure and see if that's present. So in this board, PP3V42 is going to be on this big coil over here, and we have none. So now the next thing I do if I have no power on output is I check for a short to ground on output. So I go into diode mode on the meter, red probe on ground, black probe on output. As you can see, no short to ground. So now what I'm going to do next is I checked the end of the circuit for a short to ground and also for voltage. Now I'm going to check the beginning of that circuit. So I have 16 volts going in. All right, so now let's open it up on the schematic. So we have 16 volts going in, nothing coming out, and no short to ground. So let's see if we can paint a picture of what this means. So I'm going to open up the schematic. Get out of my way. Oh, I twisted this again. I need to hook up the longer cables. I got them because when I was moving the Zalmo off that desk to clean that desk up, I may or may not have dropped the Zalmo on all the cables and the splitter. I hope it's the cables that are being finicky and not the splitter, because that would suck if it was the splitter. Alright, so let's go over to PP3V42 regulator on this board. Here we go, U699 something. Alright, so here's what I have. So over here, on input, I have 16 volts. This is output, and I have 0. So let's take a look at the U6900 area and see if anything looks funky. I mean, on this board, everything looks funky. 6990, because that's going to be right over here. So now let's just get on the microscope. And okay, so I'm going to give you guys a few seconds to tell me what's wrong with this. What's wrong with this board that's been sitting in my slot for over 2 years now? Okay, now see how this over here, and unplug it for this. That's a flat pad, flat pad, flat pad, flat pad, a little bit of solder, a little bit over here. This was knocked off. So let's see what that's for in the schematic. So here, All right, so here we have the piece that's missing, R6995, a 1 million ohm resistor between the main input and TON. Now, TON stands for time on, so this is a buck converter IC. Even though you can't see it, the switching transistors or all that stuff is done inside the chip. Now, the idea here is that this can be powered by the power adapter, 18.5 volts, or PP bus G3 hot the battery, which is 12.6 volts. But it's always going to output the same amount, 3.42 volts. It's going to output 3.42 regardless of whether the input is the battery at 12 or the charger at 18. So it has to stay on for a different amount of time to get to the 3.4 volts. If you have spikes of 18 volts, you need less of them, which means this chip has to stay on for a lower period of time to get down to 3.4 than if you were using the battery. So this resistor is going to be between the input source and here to let it know how much time it should stay on for. And that resistor is not here, and because that resistor is not here, this board sat in the bin for 2 fucking years. Great, because that's the way this works. Anything that actually belongs to me is always on the lowest priority in the pile. Regular customer stuff goes first, and it's my fault because I don't call to bitch and ask for status updates on myself, so I never work on my own stuff. So let's replace this thing. And pray that the rest of this works. What do you think the chances are the rest of this will work, Jason? Did I show you it? Look at this. I don't know what that is, but it's everywhere. Look at this. Look at this board. It's growing shit. I'm going to sell this to somebody on the weekend and tell them to get support from microsolderingsupply.com. How's the website? Still making a bunch of orders? The board I'm trying to take this chip off of is freezing cold. All the donors for the 2915 were sitting right underneath an air conditioning vent. Luckily, I have the JBC on my side. Alright, now with any luck, the graphics chip didn't die. This is the 2915, and it has been sitting in the slot for 2 years. Look, I'm not even going to try plugging this into a screen because that's going to ruin my high moment. So that's about that. So there was a missing time on resistor, and that does have to be present so that the machine knows how long, so that the regulator knows how long to stay on. Because remember, if you're trying to turn 18 into 3, you need less 18 volt pulses to make 3 than you need 12 volt pulses to make 3. So that's about that for today, and as always, I hope you learned something. Can you believe this shit turns on? Oh my god. This is nuts. Ah. What do you think the chances of the graphics chip actually works, Jason?
Very, very unlikely.
Yeah.
You might get lucky, who knows?
This thing runs really, really hot. Like really, really hot. Yeah, it looks like the PCH has been reflowed. The graphics chip, I'd like to say the word replaced, but no way in hell they replaced it. So the graphics chip on this is probably reflowed. It's missing all the ground plane.
That's not good. You probably can't sell that.
I kind of want to plug it in. I gotta see. Does this shit even do anything? Does it even light up a USB mouse? I'll be amazed if it lights up a USB mouse. Alright. The suspense is killing me. This couldn't look more like shit if it tried. Alright, so plug it in. Let's see if we can get to a question mark. I forgot the 2915s all turn on, then off, and then on. Jason, I get no picture on the screen.
Yeah, well, that cheap of you.
You fucking piece of shit.
Maybe they sent 20 volts to it for us.
Maybe it's a bad screen. Maybe my tester screen is not working. Yeah, let's see. Let's see if it even sees a USB mouse. Can you even post? Yeah, my USB mouse lights up. Interesting, when I touch it, it magically turns off. It looks like the mux has been reflowed on this as well. Huh.
It's worse than a sunny board.
This is worse than a sunny board. Okay, I was about to measure something and I forget. Turn it back on. Measure voltage at LCD connector. Would you like to turn back on, board? It doesn't want to turn back on. Come on. It's not that hot anymore. It doesn't want to turn on anymore. And PP bus G3 hot is down to 1.7 volts. Well, that sounds like a short to ground. Wouldn't it be interesting if a GPU FET? Yeah, there's a short to ground on PP bus G3 hot. Oh boy. Let's see. I wonder if it happens to be a graphics chip FET. Or inside the board. Seriously, this thing's been on for all of like 30 seconds and it's already fucked? Piece of shit. Alright. How long are the wires on your power supply?
Probably not long enough to reach there.
I'll do it on that side. No, 20. No, I want to find where the short is. I'll bring it over there. I'm not sure how long I was talking without remembering to plug my microphone back in. I don't think you missed anything great. I found out where the short circuit was. I used I used Jason's table to find it because the power supply is on his table. I found out it was that transistor. It wasn't the caps on the other side. I was being an idiot. And now we're going to put back the caps that I removed while I was being an idiot. That had to have made no sense with no audio. Bonus points if you were following along, though. So now I'm just taking these caps off the donor board, but the donor board is cold. I have to turn around the air conditioning vent. It's really counterproductive that an air conditioning vent is blowing on the board that I'm reflowing. I'm trying to get pieces off of. Okay, that'll flow into place, you'll see. These boards absorb a ridiculous amount of heat. Absorb and dissipate tons of heat. Yeah, this is going to be a pain in the ass. That was an annoying thing to have happen. My cap just flew away. I think I'm just going to take them all off at once. I can add flux and make sure everything looks nice on reflowing it later. Okay, I need to get the one that I lost now off another donor. Let's see, I should have one here. This takes so long. All right, final cap. All right, one way to see if we... Let's see, do we still have a short circuit to ground here? I'm just going to check on my meter. Short's gone. Just clear off the solder bridge I made on the fuse. Can't believe I'm spending time on this board. I do want to clean out all the stuff here. Like if it can be fixed, great. If it can't be fixed, it gets tossed in the shit pile. But I just want to categorize it, have everything in one place. So let's plug in a screen. And pray. Fans are spinning. Fans are not spinning. Come on, you can do it. Boot. And mirrored piece of shit. You have a rebought GPU, don't you? That was what I was going to measure before the FET died. Yeah, this one's fucked. I also noticed that start recording said stop. Stop recording said start, which means I probably missed a clip, but yeah. It's fucked on the screen. The CPU got 12 volts. Rest in pieces.